Hey everybody! In today's video, I'm going to do simple masking and a quick watercolor of this beautiful new image. Now you'll remember the video where I used the Aqualite pen, and I'll link you to that video again. This is a great way to quickly mask out permanent areas that you want to be white. It creates more of a barrier than a regular gel pen. It's more dimensional. That's what I mean by that. And it doesn't stink, which is a huge bonus because I don't like stinky art supplies. So this is handy to have around. I'm creating both a border around the roses so that I can add a real abstract sky at the end, but I'm also creating highlights on both the petals and the leaves. Because this is such a big image and I'm going to be using so much color, I wanted some little areas of white to pop out on the flowers and the leaves, just so that the color didn't look too heavy in this bottom corner of the card. So just a few little lines, and I know it looks like I'm drawing with invisible ink because you can't see this, but it'll become very obvious very quickly when I start watercoloring what little sections I've masked out. Now, since this is very dimensional, that means that you do need to give it a little bit of drying time and make sure that it's completely dry before you go on to the next step. That's probably the hardest part of using this pen is waiting for it to dry. So I will spray the back of my cardstock watercolor paper and the front. This will keep it flat while I'm painting. One of my favorite tricks. And then I will you'll notice I'm using a really big brush here. That's because I just want this color to be very loose. There's no need to be very precise in a large image like this. As long as I'm careful around the edges, this will go very, very quickly. These are Daniel Smith watercolors, of course, and I'll speed this up just a little bit for you. I'm not using a whole ton of colors here, so this is a very quick and easy paint. It's not hard to watercolor like this at all. I'm just basically covering the entire rose with this one pigment, but I will go back and add just a little bit of warmth in the form of some gold when I'm done. Now I'll add that to the leaves and the roses. So this is a very quick card once you've done the masking. Now on the leaves, I'm using my favorite, Green Apatite. This is a Primatech by Daniel Smith. And it's just kind of an interesting green all by itself, although I will add both purple, which is my favorite leaf shade, as a low light, and some Indian yellow as a highlight. And see how it just brightens up that leaf, and then the purple adds a little bit of depth to the base of each leaf. And again, you don't have to be super precise. Even when you just drop in another complementary color on top of that green, it automatically makes the leaf much more interesting. Here I'm adding just a little bit of gold. This is quinacridone gold. This always, 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 always brightens up any floral image, adding that just at the very end. But see the little dot and the lines on these leaves? Quick and dirty, easy highlights. That's what I call it. And now I'm going to use the little border that I established around the roses to add just a teeny tiny bit of manganese blue, just for a hint of a sky. And you'll see me kind of mixing it a little bit on my craft mat just to pull the pigment out of the half pan and water it down a bit on my mat. I don't want to color this whole thing in. I'm just giving the hint of a sky behind these roses and that little border that I established around both the leaves and the flowers helps me do that very easily. This bright kind of acidic blue is just a great contrast to all the color that I've put down. But I still want the roses to be the star, so I won't cover the entire card. I love just a little bit of blue peeking out around my flowers. So that's what the finished masked rose looks like. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching.